going here tonight is well, I'm just going with. I had to start. I had to pick a team just to start something, but the team we're going to control is the team we will use in the long run. So, so hopefully everyone's doing well here tonight as we are here for the Madden 25 NFL draft here tonight. So we are going to be getting that going very soon. As right now we just need to decide who we're going to be using. And once we get that decision done, then we are going to. Once we get that decision done, then we will be getting going here tonight. So hopefully everyone's doing all right and having a great, fantastic Friday night. First Friday night in a long while. I have not had first Friday I've had in a while of where I'm not going, where I had to start late and all that type of thing. So quite fun there. So hopefully everyone is doing all right tonight, ready for the draft for tonight. I certainly hope you are ready. And like I said, don't be fooled by what you see. I just had to pick somebody in order to get the thing going. And then the wheel will decide who we are going to be. And then we'll go from there. So, you know, what team is going to be who we are going to be choosing here tonight. That will be the question, as they will be highly interesting just to see how we're going to do here tonight. So before further ado, I say, hey, Mike and Lady, how's everyone doing here tonight? So as we get ready for the draft here tonight, so tell me this, Mike and Lady, are y'all ready for the Madden 25 NFL draft here tonight? That way we can go ahead and get the ball rolling and get this thing going. You know, we got 32 teams. See how in the long run everything kind of works out for us, and go from there. So it should be quite interesting in itself to see how everything kind of works out in this league this year. So like I said, 20, we got all the positions up. The wheel will decide for us what positions we're going to be choosing in the draft. And I'll tell you, hopefully the wheel is kind to us, just like it was to us the other night for the NBA 2K19 draft. I certainly hope it is that kind to us, but you never know what the spin of the wheel is going to do to us. So without further ado, I say we go ahead and decide. The wheel is underway of deciding what team we are going to control tonight. And okay, a team I definitely have not really a team I've not really controlled in we'll say ever. So we're just going to use an active coach, go from there just to make it more fun. So the Kansas City Chiefs is who it picked for us here tonight. So this should be interesting. Andy Reid is the head man. Big question is just how much of the head man will he be? You know, in case things go wrong for us here tonight. That is going to be quite interesting to see what will happen here tonight. So as you can see, we'll play out 8 minutes. Alright, so I say let's go ahead and get the ball rolling to see. So this is the team we're going to be using, Kansas City Chiefs. Don't worry about the Eagles. We're not going to worry too much about them. We'll just kind of work as much as we can. So Kansas City is the team we're going to use. So if you do happen to chat in the, I'll go ahead and look into that. Yep, that is interesting. Alright, so fantasy drafts. We are ready to go here.
The Eagles are now on the clock.
Alright, so oh my my goodness. Oh, really? Alright, so ooh, a lot of teams picked here. Alright, so we pause here. Let's see who. See, oh well. Oh yeah, we're not even up there yet. Alright, so alright, let's see what the draft is going to pick. And ooh, okay, a right tackle. Alright, so a right tackle here. No, we'll get.
The Chiefs are now on the clock.
Alright, so the Chiefs on the clock now. Alright, so let's see. And then we'll alright, so the Chiefs, let's see who the wheel will decide for us here. What are they gonna pick for us? A running back. Alright, so right off the bat we get a running back. Let's see. Alright. Sean McCoy, Ray Rice, Marshawn Lynch, Arian Foster, Chris Johnson, Jamal Charles, Maurice Jones-Drew. Alright, we'll take LaShawn McCoy.
Chiefs are now on the clock.
Alright, Chiefs getting our pick. Awesome. Let's see. Alright, left guard. Alright, well, left guard, I'll take Evan Mathis. He's the highest regarded.
The Eagles are now on the clock.
Alright, so the Chiefs now. Oh, yeah. Alright, so let's see. See what we got here. A punter. Okay. I'll go with Morstead.
The Eagles are now on the clock.
Alrighty.
Chiefs are now on the clock.
Alright, so now comes alright. So now the Chiefs get a chance to pick a quarterback. Big question is, who's available at this point? Let's see, Alex Smith, Andy Dalton, Shaw, Carson Palmer, Sam Bradford, Fitzpatrick, Jason Campbell, Osweiler, Michael Vick, Tebow. See, for the type of offense I'm looking at, it would be kind of nice to have a quarterback with some speed. Yes, we know Vic can run. Let's see, Alex Smith, Andy Dalton, Matt Schaub. Let's see, Mike and Lady, who do you think would be the best pick in this draft of the quarterbacks we got looking at right now? Alright, so Alex Smith would be alright.
The Chiefs are now on the clock.
Alright, so Chiefs up again here in round number 4. Alright, so who... Alright, and the wheel coming up is... Okay, a fullback. Yeah, you always need one of those. And we are going to grab one of the best. And Von the Leach, who can block, he can catch, he can get some pretty massive yards.
The Eagles are now on the clock.
So we'll go with that.
The Eagles are now on the clock.
All right.
The Chiefs are now on the clock.
Alright, so the Chiefs here. Alright, let's see what the wheel comes up for us here. Much needed position we need right now, tight end. You know, we do have some other spots we need, like wide receiver. And we'll take the highest rated one right here, Greg Olson. So that will be a good pick for us.
The Chiefs are now on the clock.
Alright, so Chiefs on once again here, round number 6. And we get defensive tackle. So we get to pick a defensive tackle here. So there's Ryan Pickett. Pickett out of Ohio State, 340 pounds. 323 for Lionel Joseph. I'll go with Pickett.
The Eagles are now on the clock.
See how it goes for us.
The Eagles are now on the clock.
Alright, so the Eagles picking up some picks here. And they get to pick a cornerback here.
The Chiefs are now on the clock.
Alright, see what the Chiefs can come up here on the draft. Here, round number 7. Alright. Right outside linebacker. That's a big help. Let's see, Manny Lyon, Swan Barnes, Bruce Irvin. We'll go with Bruce Irvin.
The Chiefs are now on the clock.
Alright, so Chiefs up again. See who we can get. Alright, right tackle. Goodness gracious, we got We'll go with Roger Saffold from Indiana.
The Eagles are now on the clock.
Alright. And they get to pick a field goal kicker.
The Eagles are now on the clock.
Alright. It'll be interesting to see how all this works out. Alright, right.
The Chiefs are now on the clock.
Alright, so the Chiefs now up. See who we can get. Come on, somebody. Alright. Another running back here. So Darren Sproles, D'Angelo Williams, Steven Jackson, Fred Jackson, Jonathan Stewart, Danny Woodhead, Willis McGahee, Michael Turner, Ryan Matthews, Noshawn Marino, DeMarco Murray. Who do you think might be the best option here for us at running back here, Mike? Mm-hmm. Who do you think might be a good pick here for running back for us here to help back up our number one pick? Murray. Okay. And Marco Murray.
The Chiefs are now on the clock.
All right. So let's see what the see what they're going to pick for us again. Alright, so that'll be a big help. Now we finally get to pick a wide receiver. Because we do need those guys. Braylon Edwards. See, there's Randy Moss, there's Eric Decker out of Minnesota, 6'3", 218 pounds. He's young. Might be the way to go is get the young kid who's got size and some weight to catch the hopefully catch the tough passes for us. That might be the way to go. Instead of getting Randy Moss, who we all know can be a very game-changer type receiver, there is Decker, 6'3", 218. He's a little bit more weight than Moss, 8 pounds heavier, and a younger guy, but you know we can use him for
The Eagles are now on the clock.
yeah, we can use him for the future.
Are now on the clock. The Chiefs are now on the clock.
Alright, Chiefs are up once again. See who we can get. Left tackle. There, Brian McKinney. Oh yeah. Maybe
The Chiefs are now on the clock.
Alright, see who we'll get. Alright, so right guard.
The Eagles are now on the clock.
Alright.
The Eagles are now on the clock. The Chiefs are now on the clock.
Alright, see. Alright, we definitely need some. So let's see, left outside linebacker. We'll go with Koa Missy.
The Chiefs are now on the clock.
Alright, so let's see. Alright, strong safety. See, Jonathan Babineau. Taylor May, 6'3". Yeah, we'll definitely go with him.
The Eagles are now on the clock.
6'3". Strong safety, he'll definitely disrupt some, he will definitely disrupt some,
The Eagles are now on the clock. The Chiefs are now on the clock.
Alright, let's see what the board will give us here. Let's see, right, have we drafted a left end yet? Yeah, we got so many picks in this thing, I'm starting to lose count. Hey, Chris Canty, 6'0", 6'7". Yeah, we'll go with him.
The Chiefs are now on the clock.
Alright. Alright, so let's see. Man in the middle.
The Eagles are now on the clock. The Eagles are now on the clock. Chiefs are now on the clock.
Alright, so let's see what. Alright, wide receiver. Definitely need more of those. Let's see, Plaxico Burris, Michael Jenkins, 6'5", 6'4", Justin Blackman, Jonathan Baldwin, Michael Floyd, Josh Morgan, Jason Avant. I'm going to go ahead and go with the 11-year pro Plaxico Burris because of his height and his size.
The Chiefs are now on the clock.
He's going to be a monster to deal with in the pass defense. Let's see. Trying to think here. Alright, let me look real quick what we have and don't have. Alright, so we got Alex Smith at quarterback. We got Murray and LaShawn McCoy. Leach. 2 wide receivers right now. Greg Olson, tight end. 1 left tackle. A left guard. A center. A right guard. And a right tackle. So we filled the offensive line positions. We have 1 left end. No right end. 1 defensive tackle. 1 left outside linebacker. No middle linebacker. 1 right outside linebacker, Bruce Irvin. No corners. No free safeties. And 1 strong safety, Taylor Mays. We don't have a kicker. We don't have a punter. Alright, so. Alright, so we need a punter. We're going to go with the highest rated one, Pat McAfee from West Virginia. Alright. Alright, so. No, is that it? Yeah. Alright, so they have. Alright.
Eagles are now on the clock.
Alright.
The Chiefs are now on the clock.
Alright. Alright, what are we gonna get? Alright.
Chiefs are now on the clock.
Let's see, who can we... Left hand jacks... Alright.
The Eagles are now on the clock.
Alright, so we'll go with Whedon to kind of give our guys a little bit back up here.
The Eagles are now on the clock.
Let's see. Okay, let's see who we can get. Alright, right tackle.
The Chiefs are now on the clock.
Alright, so we got right tackle. We're in round 21 here. And hopefully we can fill out some needed positions here. I'll go with a little Michael James. He's a little speed back. He could probably help us out.
The Chiefs are now on the clock.
Pretty good bit with speed. You know, like maybe being able to turn a screen pass into a big first down. Alright. Tackle here.
The Eagles are now on the clock.
And
The Eagles are now on the clock. Chiefs are now on the clock.
Let's see. So we're in round 23. Let's see, what positions do we not have so far? Alright, so we got 2 quarterbacks, 3 running backs. Good night. 2 wide receivers, 1 tight end. See, a left tackle, left guard, a center, a right guard, and a right tackle. Alright. And we have 2 left ends, no right ends, 2 defensive tackles, 1 left outside linebacker, no middle, right side linebacker, no corners, no free safety. And we still have our strong safety, no kicker, and we do have a punter. Alright. Alright, so left tackle has been chosen for us, so let's see who we can get. Sam Baker, Mike Adams, Jonathan Martin. Go with Mike Adams, he's got bigger size, and you could probably use that bulk. You could probably use that bulk of his to, you know, move people out of the way. And then right end, thank you. Because we have 2 left ends, we don't have a right end. Alan Branch, Alan Bailey, Sheldon Richardson, he's a rookie. 325. I'm going to go with Branch out of Michigan. He's got some good size, and he could probably really disrupt the, really get us in that position where we need to be.
The Eagles are now on the clock. The Chiefs are now on the clock.
Alright, let's see. Alright, right. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, thank you. We need... we'll go with the Akeem Dent out of Georgia.
The Chiefs are now on the clock.
To command our man in the middle. Alright, another right end.
The Eagles are now on the clock.
All right.
The Eagles are now on the clock. The Chiefs are now on the clock.
Alright, so let's see what the goodwill will give us here. And alright, just what we need. Another wide receiver. Hankerson, Brian Quick, 6'3". We'll go with Brian Quick. He's got some good size.
The Chiefs are now on the clock.
He's got some good size and should really help us out. Alright, just what we need. Another tight end. Really? He dropped that far down? We'll take former.
The Eagles are now on the clock.
We'll take Dallas Clark. He'll be a good pickup for us.
The Eagles are now on the clock.
Well, from what I can see, the Vikings are doing pretty good picks right now. Haven't been doing too bad.
The Chiefs are now on the clock.
Alright, so what is they gonna hold for us here? For the Chiefs here. Alright. Alright, middle linebacker here. We'll go John Bostic out of Florida.
The Chiefs are now on the clock.
Alright, so round 30. Do we even have a kicker? No, we don't. So good, good. Alright, see what type of kicker we get. Not too bad. Some kickers have really not been picked too well. So, see, there's Feely, Connor Barth, Huska, Sean Sissom, Matt Bryant, Adam Vinatieri. Oh yeah, we gotta go with the man, Adam Vinatieri. When are we?
Are now on the clock.
When can we ever say that we're gonna have an opportunity to pick up Adam Vinatieri?
The Eagles are now on the clock. The Chiefs are now on the clock.
Alright, so what? And wide receiver. Alright. Definitely gonna be a big help here. We'll go with Bennett here at Vanderbilt.
The Chiefs are now on the clock.
Alright. And middle linebacker again. Or we have some, but we'll take Jonas Mouton. Middle linebacker is really getting thin right now. We'll go Sharpton.
The Eagles are now on the clock.
Sharperton.
The Eagles are now on the clock. The Chiefs are now on the clock.
Alright, let's see what the wheel can do for us here. Alright, so a corner. Well, I tell you, now you're starting to get into the Buster Scrine.
The Chiefs are now on the clock.
Alright, so I picked us a fullback here. So we always need something of a backup for our big man.
Eagles
Drake
are now
Jones
on the
at
clock.
fullback. And then after this, we'll take a look at all the teams, see who they got all in there. Position players and everything. It'll be quite interesting.
The Eagles are now on the clock. The Chiefs are now on the clock.
Alright, let's see. Another. There we got 2 quarterbacks, 3 running backs, 2 fullbacks, 4 wide receivers, 2 tight ends, 2 left tackles, 1 left guard, 1 center, 1 right guard, 1 right tackle, 2 left ends, 2 right ends, Branch and Gary, 2 defensive tackles, and left outside linebacker, 3 middle linebackers, which is going to be a big help. And Irvin, 1 corner, no free safeties so far. Alright. And what it picked for us is a 3rd string quarterback. I think I'll go with Chase Daniel as my 3rd string.
The Chiefs are now on the clock.
Alright. Alright. A right guard. Definitely needed a position fill for that one. Marcus
The
Cannon.
Eagles are now on the clock.
Holy smokes. 4 quarterbacks for the no running backs. Ouch. Randy Moss. No tight ends. No left tackles. No left guard. Oh, 1 left guard. 1 center. 1 right guard. 2 right tackles. Boy, the Eagles are really getting ripped on the wheel right now. They're not getting, well, 4 middle linebackers. 3 corners, 2 safety, 2 free safeties, strong safety, kicker, and 2 punters, and 4 quarterbacks. Yoo-hoo. Oh, they ain't good. That's not good for them, but they do finally roll up on a position they need filled, and that is their
The Eagles are now on the clock. The Chiefs are now on the clock.
Alright, so for the Chiefs here in round number 37. And the center. We'll take the rookie, Brian Schwinski.
The Chiefs are now on the clock.
Alright. It'll be really interesting. Oh, thank you. Alright, defensive tackle. Always good to have too many.
The Eagles are now on the clock.
Yep, too many is not a bad thing. That is correct. It is not. But if your roster ends up being too much in one position, then that does make it very interesting the rest of the way. Oh, good choice of Burris. Yeah. Yeah, I think Burris is, he's that big guy that you just really need. You really just need overall.
The Eagles are now on the clock.
I think overall, you just need, that big help.
The Chiefs are now on the clock.
All right. All right, so while that is rolling up, take a look at the roster here. So we got 3 quarterbacks, Smith, Whedon, and Chase Daniel. And then LaShawn McCoy, DeMarco Murray, and LaMichael James. 2 fullbacks, Leach and Greg Jones. And Decker, Burris, Quick, and Earl Bennett. And then Olsen and Dallas Clark are tight ends. And then McKinney and Mike Adams at left tackle. Left yard so far, only one's been chosen. That's Evan Mathis. And then Scott Wells and Brian Schwinski. Then Luis Vasquez at right guard and Marcus Cannon. And right tackle is Roger Saffold. And then left end, Javars Jenkins and Chris Cansey. At left end, right end, Alan Branch and Antonio Gary. Defensive tackles, Ryan Pickett, Sean Rogers, and Terrell Shrew. And then Keo Missy, left outside linebacker. 3 middle linebackers, Akeem Dent, Daryl Sharpton, and John Bostic, a rookie. And then Bruce Irvin, and then Buster Skrine, our only corner. no free safety. We have one strong safety, Taylor Mays. Adam Vinatieri is our kicker, and McAfee is our punter so far. And we got chosen a strong safety, so yes, we get another position fill. We got another needed position. Now we're starting to really get into the I'll go with Reggie Smith. Looks like he can be pretty physical with the receivers and
The Chiefs are now on the clock.
and maybe cause some havoc between wide receivers and maybe really tip away those passes there. A left tackle picks for us here.
The Eagles are now on the clock. The Eagles are now on the clock. The Chiefs are now on the clock.
All right. Alright, so left guard. Cody Walls. That's a good size. We'll go with him.
The Chiefs are now on the clock.
Alrighty.
The Eagles are now on the clock.
Whoops. Get back in there. Alright, so we're just going to go ahead and rip through the rest of them because how many picks are there? Holy smokes. Where are we at? 53, 54, 54 rounds. Holy cow. Alright, so let's take a look at everybody on the team. Everybody that has been picked. Starting from the beginning all the way to the end. Alright, let's start with the Bears. They drafted Andrew Luck, and then Jared Johnson and Tyler Bray, a rookie out of Tennessee. on their team. Yep. Johnson, 6'5". Andrew Luck is with the Bears. Reggie Bush, Fred Jackson, John Barner, and Andre Brown as the running backs. Reggie Bush being the main threat. Chris Presley, and then Anquan Bolden, Malcolm Floyd, Jonathan Baldwin, DeAndre Hopkins, Brandon Gibson, and Savaris King for the wide receivers. Tight ends, you have Anthony McCoy, Rob Hausler, and Zach Sudfeld. Left tackle, you have Ferguson and Compton at the left tackle for the Bears. Livings is at left guard along with Moffitt. Center, you have Goodwin and Christian Yount. Of course, Goodwin is 34 years old, so it's hard to say just how much longer he will be a Chicago Bear. Peterman at right guard, and John Jerry of Ole Miss also at the right guard position. Ghoster Sherrillis at Boston College on the right tackle, and Ja Reed is on the right tackle backing him up. And then here's your left end, right end, Derek Morgan, Kellen Hurd, and Jeremy Mincy. And the left end, right end, Robert Quinn and Devon Taylor. And then Cullen Jenkins, Jay Ratliff, and Corey Peters in the middle for the Bears. Then Scott Shanley and Corey Greenwood at left outside linebacker. Middle linebacker, Bobby Wagner, Larry Grant, and Nick Roach. For the Bears, Jared Mayo, taken by the Bears from Tennessee, and then Kaluka Maiva. And then your corners, Brandon Browner, Prince Akamora, Richard Marshall, Coy Francis, Richard Crawford, and Curtis Marsh. And free safety, Kendrick Lewis and Tyron Matthew of LSU. And then Patrick Chung and Matthew Daniels. Alright, for the Bengals, they got Sam Bradford, Blaine Gabbert, and G.J. Kiney. And then Mark Ingram, Brandon Jackson, Lance Dunbar, Daniel Thomas for the Bengals. No fullbacks they drafted. And then Braylon Edwards, Sidney Rice, Brandon LaFell, Kevin Walter, Legadu Nahi, and then Jordan Norwood. And then tight end Kyle Rudolph, Luke Stocker, and Richard Gordon. Then left tackle Joe Thomas, Barry Richardson backing him up, Richie Incognito, and then Salvage Capers at the left guard position. Right center, Kyle Cook and Dallas Reynolds. Right guard Harvey Dahl and Dylan Gandy. Sebastian Vollmer and Derek Sherrard. And Rob Nikovich, Justin Francis, Walt Gilberry at the left end for the Sean Phillips and Quintarius Smith, Western Kentucky. On the right end, Geno Atkins, Sean Lismore, and David Carter in the middle. And then pairs Harrelson, Garrett McIntyre, Navarro Bowman, Dane Fletcher, and Travis Lewis. And then John Beeson and Josh Cadu. And then Ike Taylor, Marcus Trufant, Cortez Allen, Bryce McCain, Kevin Hayden, and Drayton Florence as the corners. They drafted a lot of corners here. Charles Godfrey, Terrell Johnson, Delano Howell. And then LaRon Landry, and then Ahidi Kubego. And then Ryan Lindell and Mike Freeze. Alright, so let's see. For the Bills, they got Russell Wilson, Terrell Pryor, Tyler Thigpen, Doug Martin as their starting running back, Joe Banyard, Evan Royster, and Sean Green backing him up. LaRon McClain out of Alabama. They took Deshaun Jackson, Devery Henderson, Doug Baldwin, Jacoby Ford, Lavelle Hawkins and Devon Wiley. Then Benjamin Watson, Kellen Davis, and Evan Rodriguez. And then on the defensive side, Anthony Spencer, Thaddeus Gibson, Deion Jordan. So they have two rookies in that right end position for the Bills. And then Sion Pua, Frank Kurse, and then Chris Neal. Then Thomas Davis of Georgia at the left end, C.O. Moore backing him up. Brandon Spikes in the middle, and Mario Davis, and then Manti Te'o in the backing him at Manny Lawson and Ricky Sapp. And then Tremont Williams and D'Angelo Hall for the Bills. So the Bills, I tell you, they got some interesting players here. Deshaun Goldson, Chris Conti, and then Tom Zapowski, M.D. Jennings, and Jeremy Miles. And then Ryan Sucko and Sam Rocca. Alright, the Broncos grabbed Peyton Manning, B.J. Coleman, and Brian Hoyer for their team. Michael Turner is their running back along with Brandon Jacobs. Ooh, they got loaded backfield here. 244, 264, and then Anthony Dixon. So they got some hefty runners. Jacob Hester of LSU at fullback, Steve Smith and Demarius Thomas, Monte Edwards, Emmanuel Sanders, Jabbar Gaffney, and Nick Johnson. I would say the heaviest backfield I've seen so far. Michael Turner, Brandon Jacobs, and Anthony Dixon. Holy cow. Denver's going to be a tough team to defend against the run. And Dwayne Allen, DC Jefferson, and Nick Casa. Then their defense, Jason Jones, Corey Wooten, and then O.C. Umenora out of Troy, and then Jason Hunter backing him up, and then Abreu, Franklin, Ian Williams, Stephen Pay, and Beluki. And then Kerrigan at left outside linebacker, Daniel Ellerby in the middle, Tank Carter backing him up. Right outside linebacker, Bruce Carter, and then Malcolm Smith backing him up. Leon Hall, Sam Shields, and William Gay, Kyle Arrington. And then Raheem Moore, Adrian Wilson, and Jared Johnson, Josh Scobie. Alright, so the Browns took Mike Glennon, the rookie at NC State, Kirk Cousins, and Kevin Cole. And then Frank Gore, Jonathan Swire, and Robert Turbin. Lars Vickers at fullback, Greg Jennings, Denarius Moore, Kevin Ogletree, Jeremy Curley, Donnie Avery, and Mike Brown. So interesting picks there. Owen Wood Daniels, Kobe Fleener, Matt Spade. And then their defense, Tyson Alua and Ricardo Matthews at left end. Right end, Mike DeVito and Phil Merling and Dante Mock at right end. And then Isaac Sobogia. And then Lamar Divins and Kawami Gathers of Georgia. And John Abraham and Quentin Groves and the left outside linebacker. Curtis Lofton, Ray Malamuga, and Greg Jones. And then Alden Smith and Junior Gillette. And then Charles Tillman and Jabari Greer at the corners. With Kayvon Webster, Brandon Boykin, and Aaron Berry. And then Deshaun Gibson, Larry Asante, and Justin Bethel. And then Rashard Jones and Mike Mitchell. So, I'll tell you, Cleveland didn't do too bad. Stephen Hauschka is their place kicker, and Jeff Locke is their punter. So, overall, I don't think they did too bad. The Buccaneers rolled the dice and went with Matthew Stafford, and then Ryan Mallett and Jimmy Clausen as their quarterbacks. Maurice Jones-Drew, Noshawn Marino, and Joe McKnight were the Bucks. James Casey is their fullback. Wes Welker, Rod Streeter, Ty Hilton, Robert Woods, Kenny Stills, and Kyle Williams. And then Brandon Pettigrew, and then Alex Smith and Corey Harkey. And then, yeah, we're not going to worry about that. Chris Long, at left end, along with Willie Young, Eugene Sims, Vinnie Curry, and Mark Anderson of Alabama. And Gerald McCoy in the middle. B. Okoye, and then Christian Ballard. So very interesting, even in this draft, how some of the draft went. You know, they ended up still picking the guys they originally drafted in the beginning. So Quinn Cobles, Nate Palmer, and then Jonathan Vilma, Greg Robertson, and Omar Gaither, and then Lance Briggs and Jordan Sin, Jason McCourty and Selden Brown as your corners, and then Alford, Jeremy Lane, Housley, and Albert Mack as your backups, and then Harrison Smith, James Sanders, and Robert Sands for the team. Major Wright, and then Jerron Harmon, Major Wright, and Josh Brown, and Shane Leckler running point there. The Cardinals grab, oh my goodness, Cardinals grab Tom Brady of Michigan, and then Ryan Nazib backing him up, and Kellen Clemens, and then Rashard Mendenhall, Rashad Jennings, and Isaac Redmond, David Johnson, and then you have Reggie Wayne, Andre Roberts, then Chris Gibbons, TJ Graham, Clyde Gates, and then Terrence Williams. And then Mercedes Lewis at tight end, Jacob Tammy, and Brandon Myers. And then Muhammad Wilkerson at left end, along with Marcus Hunt and Greg Scruggs. Desmond Bryant and Alex Carrington at the right end. And then Paul Solai, Roy Miller, Daniel Muir, and then Chris Jones from Bowling Green. And then Dante Hightower goes to the, and then Darius Fleming, middle linebacker Stephen Tulich, and then Kelvin Shepard and Foku. Middle linebacker Will Smith. Oh, yes, they did. Will Smith and Rob Jackson, Stephen Gilmore, Terrence Newman, A.J. Jefferson, and then you have Brandon McGee, Nico Thorpe. Yeah, they got a lot of pretty young talent there. Ryan Clark and T.J. McDonald. And then Shamarko Thomas and the kicker Jay Feely and Donnie Jones as their punter. But yeah, the fact that they were able to get Tom Brady in their pick here, so that's very good for them. Jay Cutler was drafted by the Chargers, along with T.J. Yates, Tyler Wilson, and Rex Grossman. And then C.J. Spiller, Bryce Brown, and Giovanni Bernard. And Mike Tolbert. And then Cordero Patterson, Stephen Hill, Brian Hartline, Keenan Allen, Jerome Freiner, and Chad Hall of Air Force with San Diego. And then sure, Michael Finley, Michael Williams, and Nate Byam. And then left end Lamar Houston, Austin Lane, and Billy Wynn. And then Stephen Bowen, Nicholas Williams, Colin Cole, Jesse Williams, the rookie out of Alabama defensive tackle, and Jarris Pendleton, and Justin Houston, Prince Alexander, and then Brian Cushing in the middle for them, Perry Riley backing him up along with Ty Powell, and Jamal Sheard, and Larry English, and then Asamoga, and then Jimmy Smith, and then you have Dre Kirkpatrick, Pat Lee, and Jerome Murphy for San Diego. Steve Vicario, Texas, and Ryan Mundy. Alright, for us, we ended up getting Alex Smith, Brandon Whedon, and Chase Daniels as our quarterbacks, so should be good. LaShawn McCoy, DeMarco Murray, and LaMichael James as the running backs. Vonda Leach, Greg Jones, and Orson Charles as our fullbacks. Eric Decker, Plaxico Burris, Brian Quick, Earl Bennett, Stephen Burton, and Michael Spurlock. And then tight ends, Greg Olson, Dallas Clark, and Chris Gregg of Arkansas, so not too bad there. We got some young talent there. Brian McKinney, Mike Adams, and Ed Wang at left tackle. Left guard, Evan Mathis and Cody Wallace. At center, Scott Wells and Brian Schwenke. At right guard, Luis Vasquez and Marcus Cannon. Right tackle, Roger Saffold. And then backing him up, Joe Barksdale, 2-year pro of LSU. And then Chris Canty and Jarvis Jenkins at the left end or right end, Alan Branch and Antonio Gary. And then Ryan Pickett, Sean Rogers, and Terrell Troop in the middle. And out left outside linebacker, Koa Missy, Edgar Jones, Akeem Dent, Daryl Sharpton, and John Bostic in the middle. And then Bruce Irvin and Toric Williams of FIU. He's a rookie. So Buster Skrine and Terrell Thomas at the corners. Jermaine McBride, Brandon Burton, and Jacob Lacey. And then free safety, Haruki Nakamura, and then CJ Spillman. Strong safety, 6'3", Taylor Mays, and then Reggie Smith backing him up, so that should be a big help. And then Vinatieri and Pat McAfee. All on that end. The Colts took Matt Hasselback, Nick Foles, and Ricky Stancy, D'Angelo Williams, Ronnie Brown, Anton Smith, and Torian Poole. So if they can get the running game going, they're going to be highly successful. And they did get Larry Fitzgerald, Jordy Nelson, Jericho Conchery, David Geddes, Desmond Briscoe, and Nathan Palmer. And then Chandler, McDonald, and Rivera, 2 rookies on the tight end position for the Colts. So that's going to be Raji and Daquan Bowers at the left end, the right end, Antonio Smith, Alan Bailey, and Tom Johnson. Johnny Jolly, Kendrick Ellis, and Nicholas Jean Baptiste in the middle for the Colts. Calvin Pace and Brooks Reed. Sean Lee, yes, very young legs. Sean Lee in the middle. Donald Butler and Stevenson Sylvester. Clay Matthews goes to Indianapolis, so, and Courtney Upshaw follows him there too. So, and then Vontae Davis, D. Milner as the corners, and then Jarvis Bird, and then Bernard Pollard, Mary Church backing him up. Now Lindo Mare, and then Chaz Henry punting for the Cowboys. They ended up grabbing West Virginia quarterback Geno Smith, and then Matt Moore and Brady Quinn out of Notre Dame. Alfred Morris, Darrell Richardson, and Ryan Williams of Virginia Tech. And then Darrell Young of Villanova, Andre Johnson, and then Kendall Wright, Reuben Randall, Russell Shepard, Joseph Morgan, Cole Beasley at the wide receivers for the boys. And then they did get veteran tight end Tony Gonzalez, and then Rhett Ellison and Conrad Rulin. And then on defense, they have Brian Roberson, Lawrence Jackson, Jared Allen, Chandler Jones, and Oliver Olivier Vernon. And then Nick Fairley, Jonathan Babineau, and then going and Pierre Jerry. Boy, does not look good for them. Ashley Palmer, Rocky McIntosh, DJ Williams, Jarrell Freeman, Zach Brown, right outside linebacker. Corners, Keenan Lewis and Corey Webster. Eric Reed and Bakari Rambo, 2 rookies manning the free safety position this season for the Cowboys. And then Louis Delmas, and then Don Jones and Eddie Plaisant. Now the boys, I'd say they may have some issues this year with youth. So we'll see how that goes. The Dolphins take Tony Romo, okay, Jason Campbell and Pat Devlin, and then Pierre Thomas, Mike Goodson, and Bilal Powell, and then Tommy Bohannon, Percy Harvin, Nate Washington, Mike Thomas, Ben Obonamu, Brandon Tate, and Kenbrell Tompkins. So not too bad. And wide receiver, Delaney Walker has tight end, so that's not too bad. Justice Cunningham and Deion Sims, 2 rookies there for the Dolphins. And then defensively, Cameron Wake and Troy Bierman. Right end, Robert Ayers, Cameron Wembley, and Kenuda Dawson. And then Richard Seymour and Randy Starks manning the middle for the Dolphins, along with Sindaric Marks. Yeah, definitely not a bad mix. John Simon, left outside linebacker, and Jolon Dunbar, overall 69. So there may be some struggles there with the left outside linebacker. Nick Barnett manning the station in the middle for the Dolphins. Nico Johnson, though they got an Alabama rookie there, so too bad. Jaquan Williams and Sean Paysinger. And then they got Kareem Jackson and Bradley Fletcher, so 2 very good corners for the Dolphins there. And then Anton Bethea, and then strong safety Daniel Manning. So not too bad. And then Don Carey backing him up. Garrett Hartley kicking, and Brandon Colquitt doing the punting for the Dolphins. And then the Eagles took Vic Young, Colt McCoy, and Matt Scott. 4-headed monster at quarterback, Javon Ringer and James Starks and Roy Hulu Jr. John Kuhn at fullback, Randy Moss, Brad Smith, Cecil Shorts, Eddie Royal, Dexter McCluster, and Lance Long. And then Ellsbury at tight end, Philip Supernall and Jarek Carrier. And then Starks at left tackle, Ben Grubbs at left guard, center Marcus Pouncey, and then Asamoah at right guard, and then right tackle Anthony Davis. And then Jared Oderick and Tim Jamison, Kendrick Goldston and Drake Nevis of LSU, and then Terrace Knighton, and then Cephasol and Robert Calloway in the middle. Then Victor Butler, left outside linebacker, David Hawthorne, Jelani Jacobs, Brinky and Harvey, and then Jarvis Jones, a rookie out of Georgia, taking the right side for the Eagles. And then Webb and Scandrick, House, Bentley, and Leon McFadden. Free safety Malcolm Jenkins, and then Troy Nolan, and also Chris Rosinski, and then Sebastian Janikowski and Morstead and Brandon Field as punters. So for the Falcons, oh, look who the Falcons grabbed. Cam Newton. So this should be quite interesting for the Falcons this year as they grab second-year pro out of Auburn, Cam Newton, Derek Anderson, and Alex Taney. And then Trent Richardson, Peyton Hillis, and Lavon Bell out of Michigan State. And then Will Johnson out of West Virginia, fullback, Des Bryant, Michael Crabtree, Brandon Lloyd, Deontay Thompson, Justin Hunter, and David Gilreath at wide receiver. But Des Bryant and Michael Crabtree, boy, you got some good wide receivers there. Jason Witten at the tight end position, John Phillips and J.J. Williams backing him up. And then defensively, you have Greg Hardy of Ole Miss. Right end, Charles Johnson of Georgia. Henry Milton. Sharif Floyd. Justin Durant at left outside linebacker for the Falcons. Joe Mays in the middle, along with Aaron Henderson. And then Philip Wheeler. Yes, major talent on the Falcons. And then Brandon Carr, Casey Hayward at the corner positions. And then Michael Huff, Chris Sensef, and Zion Gomes. And then strong safety, Brendan Merriweather and Duke Williams. And then their kicker, Blair Walsh, and Sam Koch is their punter. So, yeah, Falcons really did well there. The 49ers take Tim Tebow, Tavares Jackson, Seneca Wallace at the quarterback position, Stephen Ridley, Ryan Grant, and Vic Ballard, and Eddie Lacy, kid out of Alabama. So that is some big-time talent there. And then Tukafu at fullback, Colston and Hakeem Nicks at the wide receiver position, along with Michael Jenkins and Leonard Hankerson. And then Jordan Cameron, Zach Ertz, and Adrian Robinson. And then defensively, you have Adam Carragher, Ziggy Hood, and Ted Gerard Eddy. And then right in, Justin Smith and Ricky Jean-Francois. Casey Hampton and Brandon Diedrich in the middle. Lamar Woodley of Michigan at left outside linebacker for the Niners. Patrick Willis in the middle, along with London Fletcher, and then Tyrone McKenzie. Right outside linebacker, Brian Aragabo, and then Sam Ajo. And then corner, Sean Smith and Chris Culliver. And then Demetrius McRae backing them up as a rookie. Savon Wilson at the free safety position. And then strong safety, Mark Kicker. Robert Malone is their punter. Then the Giants took Joe Flacco, the kid out of Delaware, along with Caleb Haney, Brad Sorensen, along with Justin Forsett, and Jarvis Green Ellis, and Alex Green. And then Lance Kendricks at fullback, Roddy White and Randall Cobb at wide receivers, Danny Amendola, Demarius Johnson, Aldrick Robinson, and Kobe Hamilton. And then Martellus Bennett, Evan Moore. And it kind of makes you wonder about the rest of the other teams, how they kind of worked out here. Justin Tuck at Notre Dame at the left end for the Giants. Julius Peppers on the right end, along with Jared Crick and O'Brien Schofield. And then defensive tackle Vaughn Martin, Jonathan Hankins, Mike Martin, and Landon Cohen. And then Jared Johnson of Alabama at the left outside linebacker. Middle linebacker Paul Velinsky from Penn State, and Mouton, and then Kiki Alonso from Oregon. And then Sean Witherspoon and Danny Trevathan. And Jonathan Joseph and Alfonso Denard at the corners for them, along with Captain Mutterlin. And then Ed Reed, the old veteran Ed Reed at free safety, and then strong safety Abram Elam. And then Steven Gostkowski and Brian Anger. So Flacco taken by the Giants. The Jaguars took Andy Dalton out of TCU, along with Matt Flynn and Matt Blanchard. Halfback Darren Sproles, Jacquizz Rogers, and Jonathan Franklin. Fullback Javorsky Lane. And then Torrey Smith and Javon Austin at the wide receiver positions for the Jags. And along with Martin Bess, Jernigan, and Strouder. And then tight end Jermaine Gresham, Bear Pascal, and Matthew Mulligan. And then defensively, you have Ray McDonald, Jeremy Beal, Jason Pierre-Paul, out South Florida on the right end for the Jags. Hatcher and Austin in the middle. Not great talent there. Stephen Nicholas and left outside linebacker, middle linebacker Bart Scott, along with Paris Lennon, and then DeAndre Levy and Trevardo Williams, and right outside linebacker Patrick Peterson and Cortland Finnegan, commanding the corner position for the Jags. Devin McCourty, Josh Evans, and Will Allen. Backing him up, strong safety William Moore, Denoris Searcy, and Winston Guy. And then Billy Cundiff, and then Andy Lee. And then for the Jets, well, look who they grabbed. Big Ben Roethlisberger. So they get the Big Ben. You know, maybe that'll change their fortunes just a bit this season. Mark Sanchez and Am Weber. And then Ahmad Bradshaw, and then Felix Jones and Cedric Pierman. Fullback Henry Hanowski, and then Josh Cribbs, Ted Ginn, and Andrew Hawkins, Laurent Robinson, Kashif Moore, and Trendon Holiday out of LSU. One thing about Trendon Holiday is he's got some excellent speed and his talent. Antonio Gates at tight end, Tom Crabtree backing him up, and then defensively Ruben and Wynn on the left side, the right end Glenn Dorsey, and then Sammy Hill and Chris Baker in the middle, and then Nick Perry and left outside linebacker David Harris, along with Connor Flemson in the middle, and then Trent Cole and Jason Worlds on the right end. Then Joe Hayden and Carlos Rogers are your corners, so they should be pretty decent. Chris Clemens and Matthew Williams, and Matt Elam and Abdullah. And then Lawrence Tynes and Zoltan Mesko as their punter. The Lions, who they get? Josh Freeman out of Kansas State, 6'6" quarterback. Ryan Lindley, Rusty Smith, and then Danny Woodhead. So they're looking at speed. And then LaRod Stevens-Howling, Isaiah Peed, and Curtis Brinkley. And then Jed Collins as the fullback. Calvin Johnson, of course, drafted once again by Detroit. Greg Little, Josh Morgan, Derek Rogers, Joe Webb, and David Reed filling out that. Nobody over 30 on this wide receiving core. Pretty amazing that Rob Gronkowski goes to Detroit. That's a big pickup for them. John Carlson, David Lee. So that's a big pickup for Detroit. Getting the Gronk, Ray Edwards, and Chauncey. Right end, Robert Geathers, Michael Johnson. Defensive tackle, Kevin Williams, and Namaku Sue, the kid out of Nebraska. Vance Walker, Devon Still. So pretty decent there. Russell Allen on the left end. The middle linebacker, James Laurinaitis out of Ohio State. Right side linebacker, Carmen Messina. And then Janoris Jenkins and Chris Harris at the corners. Free safety, Glover Quinn. And then strong safety, Avon Branch. And then Zeke Mata backing him up. And then field goal kicker, Matt Prater and Steven Weatherford. Let's see, Packers took E.J. Manuel, a rookie out of Florida State. So interesting pick for them. Steven Jackson, Toby Gerhardt, Bobby Rainey, Christine Michelle, and then Charles Clay, A.J. Green from Georgia, and Jerry Macklin. So Josh Broyce. So yeah, interesting. The Panthers took Robert Griffin III out of Baylor, and then Tyrod Taylor and Josh Johnson out of San Diego. Ray Rice, David Wilson, and Michael Bush as their running backs. And then Obana. And then Mike Wallace and Lance Moore. Jerome Simpson. it'll be highly interesting here. And then let's see just how the Vikings we'll take a look at that later. So interesting draft and how everything kind of worked out here. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and get through the preseason here. That way we can get to the regular season, see just how our guys do. See how our guys do here in week 1. Since preseason really doesn't mean too much to us. Just a chance to get all of our guys in order, but I think we should be pretty much ready to go here. So, and then we'll take a look at the schedule, see who we kick off with in this season opener for us here at Kansas City Chiefs. See how we do this season. Alright, so we're going to open it up against the Jacksonville Jaguars. So that will be quite interesting for us. The overall, let's see, we got 84 offense, 78 defense, so we may have some work to do in the defensive department, needless to say. It might not be all fun and roses here. Do we have anybody out right now? Well, Pickett, Mexico, Burris, Jenkins, Sharpton. Okay. Alright, so we do have some injuries. Thank you, preseason. But we do have the Jags to kick off with here tonight in our first game. Yes, ooh, fun. See, let me check my depth chart real fast just to make sure I'm set here. You stop. All right. Alright, is everything glitching up on us here tonight? Oh my goodness. Alright, just give me a few minutes here. I'll have to bump off here just a minute.